This little boy, who couldn't even afford to eat, showed his dad a small generator he had made. He plucked off the batteries, hooked up the wires and, as the fan blades turned in the wind, the radio actually came on. He told his father that he wanted to tear down the family's only bicycle and build a bigger generator to pump water out of the ground so that the dry land could grow crops. But who would believe a boy who hadn't even finished primary school? The father was so angry that he simply threw the boy's generator away, let him follow his own farming. Not long ago, the boy's hometown was flooded and all the farmland was soaked in water, destroying all the seeds and leaving his father in tears. The flood was followed by a drought, which killed all the crops, and left the villagers with money to flee the village. Dad finds all the food he can, but it only lasts a month. At school, the headmaster scolded the boy for stealing knowledge, because he had not paid his school fees, and the boy cried and said my dad would pay for me. But the headmaster didn't believe him at all, and told him loudly to get lost. The boy was hungry for knowledge. He really wanted to go to school, but the family really had no money to pay his school fees. The father kept digging up the ground, but all he could get up was dust, not food. To add insult to injury, the residents were desperate and robbed them of the few bales of corn they had. The family was desperate and without food. They were all going to starve to death. Fortunately, relief food from the government arrived, but when the boy looked, there was some despair. There were so many refugees and the food was not enough to share. He scrambled to squeeze into the granary and only managed to buy half a bag of grain. But how was one to leave? The starving people had blocked the gates, and they were all starving like mad, so if they went straight out the door, they would certainly not be able to keep their food. Luckily, the boy found the back door on his way in and the crowd kicked the tin open to sneak out. But the food would not last for a few days, and if it did not rain again, they would have to starve to death. In order to survive longer, the family decided to eat only one meal a day. That day, the boy saw his teacher's bicycle, and he cranked the wheel and was surprised that he could make the light bulb come on. The boy gazed at the light and had a bold idea.